Hey everyone, welcome back to Transport Fever 2 and welcome back to Errors. We're in the town of Ashford that we placed last time and we've got all this beautiful activity happening, and around the corner here we have our new goods factory. We can scroll the camera around and you can see people are busily walking in and out and even using the road over there and doing a business. Between episodes, I was just playing with the world to work out, what is the future of this area. And we actually have a problem. You can actually see that the spawn point for food is actually throughout our diorama where we put the put those trucks. So I thought we'd start with that. I have made the decision, talking about dealing with that, is I have made the decision to add one more mod to the family, and I'm going to actually show you which one that is specifically. If we search for COLO, we have been using up to this point this mod, the livestock and slag mod from TF1, and not the male one. And what I have decided is I think I want a couple more things to be added. In particular, COL0 corn also has this expanded one, and particularly there is a couple more food types. And so what I want to do is have the cows, they'll be fed grain, which is a normal crop, and then they will get turned into meat, and then the meat will eventually get turned into food. And same thing with fish, we'll go from fish to food directly. And we may even have fun with paper. So what I'm thinking is that the meat needs to be wrapped with paper and the fish needs to be wrapped with paper. And also, while we're here, I think this custom industry we have right here, it'd be kind of cool that when the food arrives, so that would be the fish food and the meat food, that it also was wrapped in paper and then joined with planks. So basically it's food going into boxes and the boxes going onto pallets, and then those pallets going out to the world. So let's start actually by deleting this guy. And the goal will be to make the spawn point actually this time within the building. So we have a bit of space. It's all closed off, and so it will be all hidden inside. The other option is to run it with like an open area, but I like how this has turned out and I don't really want to modify it. We're going to be using the freestyle industry here. So we're actually going to be going all the way up to number 4, and there will be 3 inputs. So the first input will be food, and that will be produced by the cows and the fish elsewhere. They are going to get wrapped in paper, and then the paper is going to be risky boxes at that point, and it is going to be on, planks, which is kind of like pallets. And out the other end, we'll be producing goods like we did before. All right, so what we need to do is make this pad the right size so it fits inside the building. So currently it wouldn't fit. So I got a feeling we're gonna have to go quite small. There's these things down the bottom right corner. So yeah, I think from a width point of view, I don't think, it's gonna be really, really close. Yeah, we couldn't try 2. At worst, we can always throw it away. But this way, the crossways is too much. So let's do 1. So I think just lining that up at the end there, I think that's okay. And I think that's okay. So now the trick is to get it into here. I'm actually going to stop what I was doing there. I'm going to go back to the paint tool. I'm actually going to unpaint this for a sec so we can actually see where the pad is. And so now we're back to grass. And so I think if we try to put this in here now, it'd be much more obvious here. You can see that gravel pad, and then I'm just going to get it. Am I happy with that? I think if we trust it, I think we just trust one side and just squeeze it in. I think that should work. And now I don't see any major overspill. There's a bit there, but that's fine. Let's put in the gravel again. I think it's this one. Yep. So hold down shift to override the asset. And there we have it. We've upgraded this facility, and hopefully these trucks now will not be glitching into anything. And yeah, the next step is to actually get some deliveries done. So there we have it. We have a brand new industry type. Food is going to get wrapped in paper and put onto pallets, and goods will come out. This is going to be the Ashford. It was called the Ashford Freight Factory, I think, before. Freight Factory. I think that's a pretty good name. Is that what we also called the terminal? We did not, so we can also rename it at the same time. So now, as promised last time, we need to get some stuff delivered to here. The only thing we have realistically spare right now is the planks. This bread place is only receiving grain from over here. And if we look at our lines, you can see it comes across here. And then it's barely producing enough for this bread to be made, and then that goes into Lodestone. So there's no spare capacity there. So we'll have to get some bread online, and that's what all these cows and now we can do fish out in the ocean. We'll get that done in the next episode. But for now, we can look at the planks, and then actually, I suppose next episode maybe also be paper. So let's start getting a train line in, because trains are cool. I think I'm going to do a little bit of leveling through here, because I would like to put the train line through here, and I don't want to be fighting a bad level. And then we'll fade out into that hill. After the track's down, we'll definitely make that less stark. I think, much like over here, where we've used a rusty track, this is going to be like, it's going to be like really use lines. So I think I might go with the rust again. So yeah, we can put this track in here. I don't think I want the station to actually be in touch with that. I don't want it to spawn at the station and jump across to here. So I'm actually going to put the station, I think, somewhere else. Actually, it's tempting to put it down here. I don't know what direction we want to go in, but yeah, I'm tempted to put it so it kind of cuts through the back of this field, and we'll keep everything flat. And actually, we should probably do it from this direction so we know that the height was correct. Let's just put this in here, and we'll drag out something like this. Actually, what I want is just the right angle for a station, which is going to be that. I think the station through there would make sense. Doesn't have to be too big, I guess, from a station point of view. I think 120 is kind of going to be the longest we have for this type of freight line, regional freight line, like this granary type stuff. And from a platform point of view, I do like these ground platforms. Let's actually give it something. The odds are it's not going to load, it's only going to unload. So I think I might only give it a 5 meter, which is like a half width. And yeah, so I think that makes tendrils. So if we get a road across there, yeah, we get a lot of tendrils, so that works. We'll keep that flat. And I think we have the startings of a little station here. And we'll put that across there. And then as far as loading and unloading, we're just going to use our favorite building for that, which is this guy. I think this one, I think we will keep it narrow because I think that's quite nice. I prefer low platforms over high, and we've got a low platform here as well. I might increase the length a little bit. And do I want 2 platforms? I don't think I do. Let's give it 2 anyway. That way, if there's a... I've got a feeling we're going to bring in a lot of stuff here. And we may actually leave with stuff too. So this might actually be a transfer spot. So yeah, let's put that right in the middle there. And yeah, that way we can move stuff around town. We probably could make a line right now. At some point, we're going to have to start naming lines. But today's not that day. So this will just be the goods factory delivery. So this is going to be Ashford sidings. And yeah, their job will just be to ferry raw goods from the train line over there. So mainly planks, and I suppose the paper will go across there at some point. I think the bread will be delivered directly. It's really only stuff that is delivered by train that will go that way. I'm going to undo that, and let's just follow that railway line around a bit. I think that's roughly good. Actually, you know what? Just like that. Actually, that railway line's going to get destroyed anyway. But actually, was that straight? I think I was in curve mode then. Let's try that again. And we'll do it straight. There we go. So I will lose the track going that way, that in case we need to go that way. And we will have a curve out this way. Let's keep it level for now to keep things simple. And we'll head off this way. We may need to start climbing. So what I'm going to do is give us a bit of straight there. And then this is going to be a bypass. And then out this way, we're going to start climbing. Let's go 2 notches. Yeah, we'll go for 2 notches. And yeah, we'll get up this hill. And I think that should be okay. Where's straight? Straight is there. Okay, let's just do straight. Right, where are we heading for? This train is actually very attractive right here. I would like the idea of being able to go down there, down that way with this, and also to the right. So much like we did just then with that, kind of like that triangle thing. It would be nice to have that same effect over here. So how is the level? There's a bit of a dip here, but we can probably do something about that. Or do we want to do it here? Yeah, so the benefit back here is we are kind of away from the road, so there's space to do a railway crossing. So if we do that at 50, I'm happy with that. And that at 50? Yeah, that's all right. And then we can do something about this road. That dip is definitely fixable. Let's just put in a dirt road. You know, I'm happy with having that dip there. I think that looks kind of cool. We'll do a micro amount of smoothing there. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I don't mind a dip in the road there. It's following the train. All right, let's see what happens if we go this way. There's a kink there. Let's get rid of the kink on the end, and we'll come out straight and flat. And then we're going to have to deal with this terrain. Right, so where are we heading towards? If we just crow's fly that, what do we get with? So that's a bit high, a bit low, a bit high, a bit low. You know what? Done. And then I'm going to do it the simple way. And we'll do just a bit of this action. Because I don't mind, especially when it's in trees, I don't mind a bit of smoothing for this type of situation. Why aren't you really popping up? So if we use the flat tool instead. And there we go. So, yeah, we'll probably go with boom gates. I think that's plausible. What's the other options? So, yeah, we're not going to have these things. We could just have posts. But this is a pretty major road. So I think gates make sense. Yeah, it's unfortunate these arms get added in, I don't know, the 30s or 40s. If you put these down in the 20s, you just get the X's, which is quite nice. What we could do is we could put the posts in, and then we could just do an asset. I think there is under this stuff. I think there is. Is there a railway crossing thing? I don't know if there is. Yeah, my brain isn't telling me that I know that there's a railway crossing thing that's overly obvious. Yeah, let's just keep with the traditional gates going up and down. And there we have it. So we can go this way. I think, yeah, that curves. Okay. And around we go. Yeah, there's a couple of small points where we can do micro fixes. And yeah, the obvious thing to do around here is a depaint. And yeah, 100%. And yeah, I like that. I think it's pretty cool. Let's depaint a lot more of this. And yeah, this track I think should continue on. I think we should work on this straight away. And we'll just go... Yeah, that can go like that. I think the station probably could do with a little bit of detailing. Not a huge amount, actually. I think it's kind of nice to have it kind of stark like that. I think just maybe a fence. Just a simple fence. Let's go for, I don't know, one of these. And just from more like a safety point of view. There. So actually, I think I might turn height off. And we'll stay the same height. And then we will match that wall over there. So risky, they will just walk across the road and deliver the goods, maybe with wheelbarrows or something. And do we need another train line? You know what, I'm going to leave that blank for now. I'm not going to detail this side because yeah, we may regret that later, but I do want it to be a very spur line, very, you know, very unofficial type thing. Signals, 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 signals. We are using British signals here, right hand side of the road. Let's just put, probably one there, there, and there, maybe. If we're going to do signals, we do need to have a signal place. So let's just use this one. And you know what? I'm going to dock him right there. And yeah, Great Western. You know, we can do LNER. I haven't done that before. I do like the red brick mixed. And ground texture, none. I know, we'll do automatic. It can have a lamp, no fire buckets, and I like the gable one. They're cool. All right, I can go there. That's the guy who's doing the switch work, and then we'll give them a quick little road over to there. And you know what? You can be gravel like that, and hold down shift to shiftify that. This gives this guy somewhere to park his car. And I love with these little things a very, very quick picket fence situation. So you go there, 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 and there. The guy can park their car, their old car. They're going to be for some reason using an old Studebaker type thing. And anything else we want? I'm trying to think of some cool thing. So let's do ground. And for some reason there is a light on this path. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Transport Fever 3, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to play with light a lot more. This went up and down a little bit, but that's fine. All right. So, in theory, with that set up the way it is, lines, we should be able to get some, what was it called? Some planks over here. You know, this definitely needs something. So let's fill this in with, well, not that. That's not the right one. Trees? Do we want trees, or do I want a whole lot of plants? Yeah, none of these are really grabbing me. So I think I might go for trees instead of underground or foliage type thing. And you know what? It can just be anything. Work it out, game. Work it out. And we'll put some over there too, and there, and there, and in there, and there. Actually, this is way too thick, but it's fine. It would do for now, and I'm okay with those platforms being raised. Usually I have them down on the ground. I will, from a texture point of view, put some weeds under here. The brambles have taken over. And yeah, definitely infecting the land. And they haven't been maintaining it too much. And do I want to put some gates on this? Yes, I do. I love my gates. SB, these guys. And we will turn terrain off. Up in the air, please. And rotate. Actually, I always need to rotate it this way first to find out what the width is. So you go there. And you'll go there. And then, well, first things first, I need to depaint that because I went a bit ballistic. And from a road point of view, I think I could use this one. No, I need to use these. This one. Yeah, this one. And then you can go from there to there. And there. And then under SB, we need to put those things back. But this time we need to do it so that they are open. So that's the height. Turn it around, and that gate's going to be open. And ditto this guy, doing a little bit of rotation on it. Let's bulldoze those other ones. And yeah, that looks kind of cool. And I think we do need a building of some sort. Let's just go. I know this kind of office building. We'll put that guy right there, I think. And do they have a tree growing through them? I don't think so. I think that works okay. Put another one, another friend next door. I think I am going to unpaint under there though. Let's give that a little bit of character. So there we go. So that gives us the delivery of the planks, or can give us. So let's set up that line and buy a train. It's going to be from down here. One thing I haven't shown is between episodes, I mentioned how we were clipping through a tree. So I moved everything around, and actually the trick to this was to move the track to the left and to the right. Oh, I didn't realize I made such a an up and down there. And see, it actually, yeah, it's fine. It still goes through the trees clearly now, so I moved that down. And then because we had a spare track at that time, I put down a diorama, but that's not going to fly anymore because this is going to be the track for the train we're setting up. So yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I did lots of little little things around the map. There's a limit of how much I can show you. You know, you don't need to see me put down, for example, power poles. So like I put down power poles next to the train track, and I got to here, but I didn't actually go into the building. So I got to here, and I stopped there. I didn't really know where I wanted to go over there, but it's kind of like just showing that there's stuff coming towards the property. All right, where's that line? So we are going to go from, this is a new sawmill. Yes, this is, was that there? Yeah, it was here. Ashford Sawmill. I did rename a couple of the places because they started off as being Lodestone because that was the only town. And so these ones over here are now called Ashford because it's closer to Ashford. All right, they're going to go down this track and then around that curve, and then they're going to come over here. And yeah, we don't have a runaround situation set up right now, but that'll do for now. And yeah, that will be the Ashford sidings as well. I called the road one sidings as 2, I believe. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So yeah, let's get a train that can bring over this guy. So they want, I believe, under configuration, we can see this, for planks. It's 111, and it's configured to be 100 right now. So they're going to want 100 planks. And I do believe this guy, yeah, 2-to-1, and it's receiving 200. Actually, was it receiving 200 or was it receiving 40-40? Yeah, so we could ramp up those a bit more, but this thing will be able to deliver 100 planks eventually at some point. And yeah, it keeps on getting renamed because I kept on playing with it, getting it down. And all right, so let's get a train that's going to deliver 100. We can see our current train bringing in the logs with its beautiful skeleton cars, rolling stock. Yeah, I do like these. These look fantastic. And I think I've got the station in the right spot where we're not going to glitch too much. Oh, that's really close to... I didn't really realize it was that close, but that's okay. All right, let's get a train. There is a yard down here somewhere. Yeah, down here, where we put in our little bypass last time. This little diorama thing actually is a real depot. So let's get a train made. And you know what? These generic UK ones look pretty cool. And even at 72 miles per hour, that's pretty cool too. So, what do you use? So I'm looking for, these are all quite old. They're in the 1800s. You know what? This one's cool. We'll go for short. And we are going to be moving planks. And we can use some LMS stuff. That's kind of cool. You know what? Let's start with those. Yeah, LMS, NE, SR. So I suppose this is Southern Railways, London North East, and London. What's MS stand for? I don't know. I'm not British. I haven't really researched any of this. Let's go with these. Yeah, that would do. And we'll start with, I don't know, 60 meters worth. It's probably more than we need. And let's assign that. This is train number 2, and it's going to be on line 7. We are going to have to do the episode for naming it at some point. You know what? Since that's like that, let's double check our. I'm going to press pause. Let's check our signal situation. So this guy's coming in. So yeah, they're going to try to come out. They could have gone through this other track, but they're not going to. And so, yeah, that's going to be fine. From a signal point of view, we are going to need something. So I think, yeah, much like we need to have, I don't know how we're going to do this. Probably at just the start of every triangle. Yeah, so if we do that way and that way, they'll move up to the triangle in that way. If someone's coming forward, they'll just stop there. And I don't think I want one this way, because that could cause a head-to-head, I think. Oh, no, it should be all right. I think that might work. And yeah, let's put one over here just to move things forward. Actually, we'll do it just before these points. And we'll do it just before they get into the station. So around about... Let's not hide it with the telephone pole. Let's do it about there. And on the way out, we don't need any. It's too obvious. They can move up to there. And... yeah, I think that's pretty good. This one is a waypoint. I actually might put a physical one there instead. Actually, I'm going to move that back a little bit so that it's going to be parallel with this one, which is the main line. All right, let's press play. This guy, this is where we get head-to-head problems. Yeah, okay, they stopped there because we did that. It means that segment all the way up to there is good. Yeah, it's a cool little engine. I've never played with this one before. I like the blue. That's a cool colour. The headlight looks good too. I saw a note somewhere saying that Urban Games changed the logic behind headlights. So they produce light and then you put a transmissive material in front of them. And the original numbers that mods were told to use, they actually changed them. And you may notice that some things just have these really bright white lights, and it's because they're using the old range. There's actually a mod out there that modifies if it sees things that are out of whack, and using the wrong numbers here, it will actually modify it for you like dynamically, and you just make sure you load that mod last. So if you ever have a train or a truck or something that's just blindingly bright, it's because it doesn't have that white emissiveness adjusted on it. Yeah, I like how these tracks are very windy. I don't want them to be like this mainline straight ballistic thing. We could put signals on that saying, hey, you're about to go left or right, but I don't think this traffic is justified enough for that. I would actually prefer to have nothing on this. So yeah, look at that. And then that guy's going forward. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell them to reverse, and then we can watch them go towards the sawmill, and we'll pick up some, hopefully pick up some planks. Train is coming into the sawmill. The planks have spawned lovely outside of the bounds of the problem area. I definitely deliberately put the station platform out there past the road, so knowing that, or hoping that it would spawn out there first. So let's zoom out a bit. Using our photo mode here to get a better shot. And loading up. So we shouldn't get a situation where there's so many of these hanging around that they fill up the platform. And yeah, let's have a look at this. And off they go. We probably should configure it to wait. So while we let this go, let's change the line and say, hey, by the way, when you are at the sawmill, can you please wait a little bit? And we'll do 3 minutes for starters. Well, is the filtering empty right now? And see how it goes. That fits through there, not too bad. Alright, rushing up to that corner. Yeah, that left-right thing's a bit problematic there, but it can stay for a while. One of the mistakes we may have made is we don't have any truck on the next part of the line that will take the planks over to the goods factory. It must, because we won't have planks in this train unless there's somewhere for it to go. So my guess is we may actually be within a distance, and yeah, that a whole idea of making a separate thing may actually have thwarted us. I really wanted to have a truck that went from the station across to the goods factory. So my guess is we're either too close or the town has made a road. So we may have to modify some of our road network. Oh, there's a nice fox out there. You see that? I don't know if you saw it. There you go. That's cool. I have never seen a fox before like that. I do have the mod enabled that puts in British wildlife rather than the generic game. And into here we go. Past the signal box with the lights on. And yeah, it snakes in there quite nicely. I like it. Pretty simple. I'll zoom out a bit. And yeah. Inaugural run of the LMS plank supply. And it should just jump across to that yard over there. It didn't. Interesting. Alright. Oh, there it goes. It just took a while. Alright, so are you in... No, you shouldn't be in range. Yeah, you are not in range of that. Okay. The question is, why did we get stuff and it didn't... Interesting. So who wanted the planks? Well, the good news is it's not in range. That's the important thing. What we need to do very quickly is... Where's our depot? Right here. We can press play, I think. This guy, let's buy some stuff that can move planks. There's a cargo thing, and yeah, let's use an open stake car for this, and I'm just going to grab one of those. You know what? No, let's not do that one. Let's have fun with a Volvo. Yeah, you've got a cool stake car. Yeah, this is a mod. Let's have fun with that, and it's going to be line number... yeah, that was the train, so 6. We need to name the lines. Oh, that is cool. Alright, where are you going? How are you getting to... Okay, you're going to go down there that way. Okay. So, in theory, now there should be, where's the station? I'm going blind. There should be, the train should happily come in here. It should dump it off here. Line 6 should pick it up. That's, do I want that? I'm going to put it out on the back, actually. And line 6 should pick it up. Should go over here, drop over here, and these guys should be happy. I assume that this is touching that. Is it? I didn't see the tendrils. There must be tendrils. Yeah, there's a bazillion tendrils going on. Yeah, those purples are what we need to see. So yeah, so in theory, now this guy should put it on the train, go around the loop, go over here, drop it off at the sidings, the truck should pick it up, and then it should bring it over here. So if we come over here and say, hey buddy, are you doing anything? They're going, yep. The Ashford Freight Factory is taking 36 right now, and the logging camps are doing their best to populate this. I think I'm going to change one thing. So currently, this logging run across here, this guy, there's only one guy on the line. So if you manage vehicles, there's only one. And they are running at a rate of 40. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bump up the rate of this one. I'm going to configure this and say that you are running twice as fast to that. So you are running 80. There you go, 80. And I'm going to get this guy and we're going to dupe them. So now, in theory, this line should be running 80. It is. And so there'll be 2 on this line. And I already know that there's already 2 on this line over here. So it'll be 40 from there, 80 from there. So it'll be 120. And the train is running at 71, but it's very short. So let's modify the train. We'll find the skeleton, which is our log thing. And I'm just going to dump a whole lot more onto there. What's the rate? So 71. It's going to go to 120. So let's add... yeah, we must add one more. What's that? 106. I'm going to make this much bigger. So let's put on a sequoia log one there. That'll be that one. And then we'll finish it off with 160. And 124, perfect. So that's 160. This station is 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's going to fit. And I don't know what I made this. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this might be 120 rather than 160. Actually, let's modify it. So yeah, it's only 3 segments. We can fix that pretty easily, I think. Yeah, I think we can fix that just by, I'm going to press pause and we'll configure this station and give me some tracks, and I'm going to put one more track over there. I can't do that because the everything's a bit messy, and let's try that again. One more track, one more ground platform that is dirt on that side. And then we will finish that off there, and you should be happy to do this before that point. Yeah, and now that platform is going to be 160. 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. Here, 160, so that will fit. And that will be great. This lovely big train is filling up. Only about half full so far. I just changed it to a 9-minute wait from a 5-minute wait. That way we definitely can run a lot more full. But yeah, that's working, which means that our planks is working. Train is coming in, and so is the truck. I just changed the truck to say also wait as well. And we have a new line in the map with what seemingly is a lot of lumber on board. I think we have definitely achieved success in this episode. You can see it going over there on the platform on the left hand side, and the truck in theory should be picking it up. Yep, the tray of that truck is definitely full. As always, don't forget to press subscribe to see more great of, and I was going to say Great Western Railway action, but that series is over. Great Errors series action with all this LMS, Great Western Railway and other rolling stock, and also some English and British stuff and American stuff and European stuff and everything else. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.